So, watching your videos of your mountain biking,
Oh yeah.
I mean, do they like, so do they like make tracks
Yeah, they do.
that you like? That's, I
Not
mean,
everywhere, obviously. Like that's an actual bike park, and you go there, and I actually have a season pass, like a ski hill there, and it's good for the whole year. They're open year round because they don't get that much snow, and when they do get snow, they
because it's
clear the
California,
trails so that you can still ride your bike.
right?
So, like in that video, even you'll see some snow on the side of the trails that it's kind of melted down. It's funny because as a kid, like I was born up there, and it's up by Lake Arrowhead, which is not the
Okay.
mountains right above me, but the next set to the east, so above San Bernardino. So I live at the base of the San Gabriel Mountains. Those are the San Bernardino Mountains, and
Oh, okay.
and so when I was born, we lived up there, and there was always this funky little place, and I don't know if I remember it from that age, but we had definitely like driven back up to Lake Arrowhead. I'm sure of it, over the years, and we always saw this funny little place called Santa's Village, and it was, commercials would come on TV for Santa's Village, and there
Hmm.
was this goofy little theme song. And it was like, it seemed like this place that was only open around Christmas time. I don't know. Maybe it was open other times of the year as well, but probably not as popular because of the name, right? Like they pretty much boxed themselves into being seasonal, it seems like. And so now you go to, it's called Sky Park at Santa's Village. So they've kind of done a shift in the name. And part of the attraction there is still Santa's Village, and it's very nicely done, but it's kind of Disneylandish with the little cottages with the fake snow on the roof in the summertime, but the real snow on the roof in the wintertime. But they've got like a climbing wall and a bouldering den and a bike shop and like five or six little restaurants and gift shops and zip lines and like cart track that you can like do these pedal carts around. They've got a little pond that you can learn how to fly fish in. So they've tried to make it this destination for all times of the year. There's hiking trails, but I was like opened up to this whole world of bike parks when we were on our trip over the summer. I had been to a couple bike parks a long time ago, and they were just terrible. They were no good back then, like 20 years ago. And
Hmm.
we went to one up in Montana at Whitefish Mountain, and which I think they claim to be like the first bike park on the West, or the first ski resort kind of turned into a bike destination on the West Coast.
Hmm. Okay.
And then it was like, oh, well, let's figure out where more of these are, because riding chairlifts up is amazing, and just riding your bike down is it's pretty fun, right? So down here though, Sky Park is there's no chairlift. So it's ride your bike up and ride your bike down and ride your bike back up and then ride it down. So it's really more like a trail system, but you ride one
Hmm.
trail up, so it really makes it like less prone to crashing. You don't want people riding up the same trails people are riding down, which is how every
Right.
normal
Right.
hiking trail is. But at a bike park where you're going to have a lot of bikes, you wouldn't want that. So you ride this one trail up, and it's not too difficult of a climb, but it's not too easy either. So you kind of earning your downhills, and then from this one top point, there's five or six or seven trails that kind of take off from there, and they're all downhill trails. So there's a lot of wood features, there's a lot of jumps, there's a lot of berms, and it's totally tailored only for like mountain biking. It's pretty rad.
So they have like, bunny trail, double
Hmm.
diamond, triple
Yeah,
diamond
they're
stuff.
all they're all rated just like ski hills. So yeah, there's the green circle for the easiest. There's the blue square for intermediate. There's black diamond and then double black diamond. And then in kind of biking lingo, they actually have above double black diamond is what they call a red trail, and that's a pro line, which is a lot more like what you would see
Oh,
on Red Bull or something.
okay. Okay. Yeah, I was looking at when I was watching the video. That would be where I would fall. That would be where I fall. Oh, I just fell here.
Yeah, I mean,
And the funny thing was is that when I was a kid, like you didn't have like massive BMX, like we had like BMX tracks and all this
right,
other stuff that
right.
we would ride around with and all that other stuff. But I don't know, as many crashes that I've been in for some reason as a kid on my BMX and busted head open, busted eye open, busted
Hmm.
whatever open and stuff. I was like, it just doesn't seem appealing to me. Give me a nice flat road and you know That's it.
Yeah. This is to me it's kind of replaced rock climbing because of the rock climbing gyms being closed and the access to trails
Mm.
being so easy for me here
Yeah.
that it's and my this all started with BMX for me too when I was, fourth grade or whatever,
Yeah. Yeah.
going to bike tracks, and I loved it back then, and I continue to love it for the same reasons now, and so getting out on the trails has just been my way to not only escape kind of the day to day, but also like rock climbing, it's just kind of this, you have to be totally present, because if you're not, you're going to go over something. You are going to crash. You
Yeah.
are going to go over the edge. And so it focuses you to be in that moment. Like, I don't listen to any music. I don't listen to any podcasts. I'm trying to be in nature. So I don't want anything in my ears except nature. I love it. I mean, to me, it's kind of doing double duty of being outside in nature and getting away from the screen, but it's also
Right.
the continuation of like creativity and problem solving, and to some level there is some art to it.
Yeah. I can see that. I mean, sadly, I don't seem to have that confidence on the. I mean, it's been a while since I've even ridden a mountain bike. I think the last time I was mountain biking.
Gosh, yeah.
Yeah. The mountain biking that I've done, like sort of like that, maybe not quite as that was in Germany, and that was 30 years ago.
Yeah,
so
right. Well, and bikes have come a
while.
long way. Like, it's amazing what they can do to kind of smooth out what's happening underneath you and give you that confidence, right? So equipment has gotten way, way, way better. Yeah. So that helps. But also, like, you just progress, right? And if you got 1% better every time you went, like, you wouldn't be able to kind of see that transition happen quickly, but it would happen. Like I say in the video, like, the first time I went down this, it took me over 5 minutes or 8 minutes or whatever it was. And, you go next to all the features. You don't go over the features, right? And you stop.
I would be going next to.
And you look at them, right? And you watch other people do them, and you figure out where you need to be when. And then as you start to build confidence on one feature, then you try the next one, right? And so it totally is like this normal progression of, just like you have on a project, right? It's like you start with a pen on trace and you end up drawing details, right? So it's exactly the same thing.
Well, the funny thing is that when people are like, how do you do like a big project like that or something like that? And you're like, well, it's not like I started off like doing big projects. I mean, hell, you start with like the 20 by 20 maintenance shed in sunny St. Pete, Florida. You're like, ooh, that was like the most complicated thing I've ever done. And then you progress all the way up to the couple 100,000 square foot research lab type stuff. And
that you're actually doing surgery on a building instead.
Exactly.
Crazy stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah, there's this quote that I think I read it yesterday, and I can't remember who said it. It was like some famous scientist or something, but it was like, the best thing about the future is that it only comes one day at a time. Right? Because if it was more than that, you wouldn't be able to handle it.
I wish I wish people would like realize that.
Yep.
Because sometimes people get so overwhelmed with like what the future brings. I'm like, I literally, I can't care about like tomorrow if I'm not taking care of today.
Yeah, exactly. It's so important because there's so much worrying about the future. There's so much worrying about the possibilities that could happen, and we tend to kind of invent possible futures, and that gives anxiety, right? It gives a lot of anxiety about like what could happen if we don't do this, and what could happen if we do this, and what if they say this, and so many like that actually came up in another conversation recently, which is people compromising. I know we've talked about that on ArcaSpeak quite a bit. Is compromising, like making decisions for clients without the clients even being there to say yes or to say no. We say no for them so many times because we're inventing that future of disappointment in many cases. It's like, no, we don't want to ask them that because we don't want to be disappointed. So let's disappoint ourselves now and get it over with. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
It doesn't sting as much, right?
Exactly. And then is you're saying is like, you sort of hamper yourself from trying to become adventurous and trying to do things and let those creative juices flowing, because you're dwelling on the no, or you're dwelling on something that is preventing you from trying to do something more. And so, like I'm saying, back to like the bike trail, I'm watching him. God, I could never do that, because I remember when I crashed and it hurt and all this other stuff. And, you were talking about being in the moment. I could guarantee you that when I was young and stupid and doing all of these jumps and everything else, I was not really necessarily in the moment per se. I was more like showing off and being, you know,
totally
the whatever with that and stuff. And so when you are focused or dwelling upon the result that you don't know is going to come, it's going to prevent you from trying to do it.
Totally. Yeah. I mean, how many times have you been in a situation where someone's like, "Oh no, that'll never work," and it's like,
exactly. Like, okay, well, I'll try.
If you say so, right? Like,
yeah. And there's so many people who it's just like, okay, well then I won't try.
Yeah, totally.
You're like, that's not the point.
Or or like your kids will try to pull some reverse psychology on you. Well, I guess we're not going to this, huh? And it's like, if you say so, right? Like, and then all of a sudden you see the look on their face, like, oh crap, I shouldn't have said that, right? We've done that before, and it's a great lesson for the kids. Like if you're seriously gonna say something like that, we can make it true, right?
You're like, exactly. It's just like, I guess we're not going to go there. I guess we're not.
Thanks for making that decision easy.
But I really did want to go.
Right.
Well, then why'd you say we weren't?
Yeah. Because don't try to manipulate me.
Mm-hmm. I mean, if we're going to go on my time.
Yeah. So for me, with starting this channel, it's really about doing something else, right? Like I really wanted to do something not architecture and put it out into the world. And to me, like, because I enjoy it so much, I'm really just trying to attract a community of people who enjoy it, and so that we can do it together, because seriously, it's way more fun with more people. So I'll see if that happens or not, but it's fun. It's a creative outlet for me to make those videos. It's fun to film them. Like I've filmed a lot of stuff over the last 6 months, and only now am comfortable starting to put stuff out there, because like you have to get into the flow of what you capture, when you capture it, how you put that into a story. And to me, that's probably the more interesting thing about what I'm trying to do than what a lot of channels do, which is just show trail footage. And it's like, well, that's useful if I'm going to go ride that trail, but I would rather show up for a story, right? And
exactly.
I think that makes it more like something that you would want to come back for. It's not just like a book in the library, but more of like a story that you get to listen to or watch. So I like that part of it.
So let's back up a minute. So, we kind of like dove into, me saying, hey, I saw your video. So tell everybody exactly what it is that we're, kind of like droning on about.
Oh, well, it's a YouTube channel that I started that's not on my like eTroxel YouTube channel. So it's called Troxel MTB, and it's just about, I was originally thinking I might call it like trail stories or something like that, but I feel like it's just easier to search for this moniker that I'm using for the other podcast, and for my website is trxl.co and stuff like that. So I felt like it just kind of fits that into that better, but it's Troxel TRXL MTB, and MTB stands for mountain biking. And so it's just me telling various stories of adventures on the mountain bike. And so sometimes that's going to be, it is going to be like a trip or an adventure that I go on specifically. Sometimes it's going to be like testing some equipment and talking about that, because I love to tinker. Like I love to put bikes together. I do all the mechanical stuff myself. And I feel like that should be part of the story. Like this stuff doesn't just magically stay together. It doesn't magically perform. You've got to maintain it. You've got to try different things. You got to try different tire pressures. You got to try different settings. And so what's cool about that is like being able to tinker with your bike, like how you cannot tinker with a modern car anymore, right? A bike is very much kind of old school in that regard, which is like you get to mess with stuff and try different things out. And so I enjoy that. Like I just did a huge upgrade last weekend on my suspension, like a full replacement of all the bike suspension, which has been an amazing thing to kind of go through and do. Because this is normally people just go drop their thing off at the shop, and that's not tenable for multiple reasons right now. Like bike shops are slammed. Like there's no way that you're going to drop something off and get it back in a month. So part of it is me learning how to do this stuff and showing that on the channel, doing these things to show other people that they can do this kind of stuff and hopefully inspire them to do that. But then also just show my progression over time. It's a way for me to kind of memorialize that and get better and try different things and inspire people to get outdoors and go do something different than sit behind a screen. I feel like there's a lot of suffering going on because of all of the screen staring that's happening in these times of kind of isolation and you know, this one device that connects us to the world, or multiple devices that connect us to the world. So and then just trying to make something creative, and so other types of videos are like showing that creativity on the trail off. So like figuring out a line, figuring out the fastest way to do this thing or the best way to do this thing or to conquer this feature or whatever. So we'll see what happens. I don't know. I don't really have too many expectations. I don't have a schedule of releasing videos. All I know is like it's not hard to come up with ideas. It gives me a creative outlet, and it's fun, and people like watching fun stuff. And there will probably, actually, I just put a video up yesterday of a crash that I just had on my YouTube channel. So, and it was crazy, right? Like I didn't get hurt. It was just like all of a sudden some invisible hand reached out of nowhere and whipped my bars sideways as I was going down this really steep, rocky thing, and I went over the bars. It's like, whoa, I didn't see that coming. And luckily I got it on film.
Was it by some chance near any like historic stone steps?
It was.
Because that happens. That happens.
Yeah, that you get pushed down stairways. I go over the bars on my bike. Yeah. It happens to us olds. We fall off things.
Exactly. But you know, the great thing about it is that it, you know, it also, let's face it, you know, I mean, I've been, as you know, we've, you know, grown into good friends, but I mean, learning about you when we kind of like started this whole adventure of the podcast and stuff, a lot of it was through your TRXL website. And then, you know, just to kind of like see how he's like, oh, you know, he's a, you know, fellow photographer. And he likes to, you know, get outside and camp with his family and things like that. And, you know, look at these beautiful photographs and stuff, you know, and it's kind of like an insight on, you know, like kind of who you are and what values you have. But, you know, it also shows, you know, all of like the myriad of different interests that you have and all of the myriad of creative outlets that you have that are all part of kind of like this, you know, work-life balance. You know, because, you know, it's not just this separation of, you know, well, okay, it's a departure from architecture, which you did say that was kind of like, you know, what can I do other than architecture?
A reprieve,
If you, but if you think about it, you know, you're even talking about how you approach some of these things in a very kind of almost, you know, project manage or like, you know, kind of like creative architectural way to like approach some of these things, whether it's setting up a shot for photography or whether it's, you know, conquering a trail on your mountain bike and stuff. I mean, there are still some things that you kind of like liken and distill and pull into the world of architecture, which means that, you know, we want to get away from it. But in a way, you know, some of the tools that we've developed to conquer the world of architecture are, you know, tools that we can use to conquer other things or to enjoy other things or to the, you know, it's like, I never look at another building the same, even if I'm like out and, you know, like even if I'm like, you know, hiking a trail or something, I'll look at this trail in a very architectural manner. You know, I'll look at like, you know, oh, look at the way that these, you know, the limbs bend over and create this kind of like Gothic arch type tunnel that I'm walking through. I mean, half the people who are walking that would never think that. But,
no, totally. Like I just posted a picture on Instagram yesterday from a trail ride that I did earlier in the week. And it's just this amazing fractal pattern from the oak trees with the sun coming through, looking down the trail. And it looks like you're in the barrel of a wave. Like it looks incredible. And to look at that from like an architectural perspective of how it makes you feel, and kind of this forced perspective down the trail, and the way that the trees are growing up over it, making this incredible canopy of fractals, the way that the tree branches get smaller and smaller and branch out. It's just, there's so many things to look at. And you're totally right. Like, I look at it architecturally as well. Like, even when I'm composing that shot, I'm thinking about how somebody experiences that thing, right? So that place, it's really interesting to think about it that way. And I agree. And I love sharing stuff like that. There's actually a ride that I did some filming on, and I'm just pointing out like the incredible. It's actually right by JPL, which JPL has been in the news. I don't know if you've noticed.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I watched it.
I did too. I was on my phone watching that happen. It was live. It was incredible. But Jet Propulsion Laboratory is right next to Pasadena, which is where this really cool trail is. And there's all this incredible infrastructure along the trail. And like part of like my view of mountain biking is like, this is the kind of stuff people don't even look at when they're out here riding on these things, because they've got headphones in or their heads down, they're looking at the trail or whatever. But I'm like, look at this incredible stuff that was put in the 30s. How did they do that? Let's look at it. It looks amazing. And so, like, that's the kind of thing too that I want to bring to this channel.
So, like, when I'm driving the back roads of Maryland, another good example is like I'm driving the back roads and I'm looking at things. I'll see this old historic, farm, this beautiful stonework, and this dilapidated wood and all this other stuff. And I'm looking at the way that the sun is kind of like dappling the surface of it and everything else. And I'm looking at it in a completely different manner that like anybody else. And so most of the time, when we're on these like on these like back road drives and stuff, everybody's like, oh, Dad's something that he wants to pull over and take a picture of.
Yeah.
And like right in the center console is sitting my little Fuji X-T3 sitting there at the ready, fully charged and everything, just so I can like jump out and take some pictures and all this other stuff. And it just, it's just the way, so
it's the way you're wired. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the way I'm wired. But so to kind of like pull it back into like what you're doing with all of these channels is it's just, kind of way to, I love that it's a way that you're memorializing kind of some of these adventures that let people know, hey, you don't have to be stuck behind the computer all the time and feel like, it's like, oh, I'm missing something. Get out there, do something, have fun, like, experience some things. And
yeah, the whole idea here is not to make you jealous. It's to inspire you to do it too.
No,
right?
not at all.
Yeah, it's
I'm not sure I'm going to be.
Well, yeah, just get out there and do things. Yeah. Like, do things your way, right? This is my way. But hopefully it inspires you. Like I'm 46 years old and I'm charging down a hill, going off jumps on my mountain bike. Like, I don't know that I would have ever thought that would be me, but I am trying not to die, and I am trying to stay young. And and I'm having a lot of fun doing it. Like, I seriously, like, it's just my passion right now. And so cool. Right. I'm going to share that passion with other people.
It's fantastic.
Yeah. Thanks, man. Well, every listener of this show, I would love it if you go to the link in the show notes and subscribe. It doesn't hurt to subscribe. There's no pain involved. You just click a button, and then every time I post a new video, you can watch that too if you want to, or you don't have to. It doesn't even matter.
Yeah.
But I would love it.
You won't fall off when it jumps.
Well, and I will post videos of me falling if that's your thing, and you want to watch me get hurt, or maybe just roll through something that and I don't get hurt. Ooh. That's cool. I don't care. Just subscribe to it.
You can do that, and then I can make a compilation video of all of Evan's falls.
Evan's fails. Yeah. You could have your own channel, just taking content from my channel, just cutting out all the other stuff, and just show the good stuff, which is old people falling off bikes, meaning Evan falling off bikes.
And that's exactly what it would be called.
Somehow we take pleasure in other people's pain.
I might throw in every once in a great while Cormac falling down a set of stairs or something, because that seems to happen more often than not recently.
I'm glad I'm not alone.
Yeah. Though I told you that I did return to the scene of the crime, the last occurrence where I did that, and did actually walk back up the steps. And I realized that every time I stepped on each of these steps, now they aren't like, your normal like 7-inch rise and 11-inch run thing. I mean, these are big kind of like stone plates, flat stone, and realizing that they like teeter. Every step is teetering.
Oh my gosh!
And as I'm like walking up, and they're probably like, I don't know, 2 feet.
Uh-huh.
The width of this thing,
The depth
is
of the tread.
probably like, so like, yeah, the depth of the tread's like, maybe 2 feet, possibly even longer than that, and then the width is probably like around 3 to 4 feet. But it's just this big stone slab, and they're like basically kind of sort of stacked on top of like rubble underneath them as they
Sure.
kind of go up this, from the old place up to the house and stuff. And I'm looking at it and I'm like, well, of course I was going to fall if I wasn't paying the hell attention, because
Yeah.
I was in the moment of trying to take a picture of
You weren't looking at what you were walking
this
on.
little stone house, and I wasn't, and it teetered off and tumble on down the road.
Well, these things don't take care of themselves. People, like, maybe there's a whole lesson in here about maintaining your building, or maintaining your staircase, or maintaining a trail. Even like these, they don't take care of themselves. You've got to get out. Maybe you and your kids, you can go out there and like maintain those steps for them, and make Sleepy Hollow better.
Well, this one was at Antietam National Battlefield,
Oh, okay.
and so
But how much do you want to mess with the haunted staircase?
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think I've had my fill of that staircase. I walked past it with a little bit of side eye. Mm-hmm. I did, however, like walk around and look to see if I could find any of my old camera parts that had like broken off.
Busted off. Did you take your metal detector, like a magnet, out there? You're that guy at the beach.
The old man with the
Yes.
hiked up black socks and sandals and his little. No, it wasn't that bad.
That would be awesome. That'd be a great cover image for this episode.
I can share at least the picture of the stairs that
There you go.
I was
Do it.
sacrificed to.
Yeah, good idea.
I will.